Tradition number 39. It is quoted in Musir al-Ahzan through successive chain of transmitters, reaching the noble Sheikh Ja'far ibn Muhammad Qawlawayh al-Qummi, that it is related to me that one day Imam Hussein alayhi salam went to his brother Imam Hassan alayhi salam. When he looked at Imam Hassan, he started weeping. Imam Hassan alayhi salam asked, "O Aba Abdullah, why do you weep?" Imam Hussein replied that he wept on account of that which would befall him. Imam Hassan alayhi salam said, "What shall befall me is the fatal poison, but none of my days will be similar to that of yours. 30,000 people claiming to follow our grandfather, the Prophet, will unite to attack you and shed your blood, and violate the sanctuary, and imprison your womenfolk and children, and plunder your tents. At that time the wrath of Allah will descend upon the Bani Umayyah, and the heavens will rain blood, and all things will lament over you, to the extent that the wild beasts of the forests and the fish of the rivers will also weep for your sufferings." Tradition number 40. Through successive chain of narrators, reaching the noble Sheikh Ja'far ibn Muhammad ibn Qawlawayh al-Qummi, who through his chain of transmitters relates from Hammad ibn Uthman, who in turn relates from Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq alayhi salam, that when Prophet Muhammad salawatullahi alayhi wa alih was taken to the heavens on the night of Mi'raj, he was told by Allah the Almighty that I test you by 3 ways so as to know the extent of your patience. The Prophet replied, "I surrender to your command, O Allah, but I lack the ability to forbear your trial. Please tell me as to what the 3 ways are." It was said, "The first is hunger and giving preference to the needy over yourself and your family." The Prophet replied, "I accept, O Lord, and am satisfied and bow my head in front of your command, while favor and patience are from you alone." Second, being the lies which people will attribute to you, the fear and severe danger, and donating your life in my way, and fighting the forces of disbelief with your life and wealth, and patience upon the severity and difficulty which will befall you at their hands, and the hands of the hypocrites, and the sorrows and troubles, and the wounds of the battlefield. The Prophet replied, "I accept, O Lord, and am satisfied, and bow my head in front of your command, while favor and patience are from you alone." While the third one being the sufferings and martyrdom which your family will have to bear after your death. Then your cousin, Imam Ali, will have to face vilification, reproach, and suppression, and will be frustrated besides falling prey to severity and oppression, and will ultimately be martyred. The Prophet replied, "I accept, O Lord, and am satisfied, and bow my head in front of your command, while favor and patience are from you alone." As regards your daughter, Sayyida Fatima, she too will have to bear the hardships, and all the afflictions which would befall her were related to him. Then this daughter of yours will have 2 sons from your cousin, one of whom, Imam Hassan, will be killed by a coward, and his belongings will be looted, and he will be wounded with a lance, while these acts of tyranny will be performed by the people of your nation. The Prophet replied, "I accept, O Lord. Verily we are Allah's, and verily unto Him shall we return. And am satisfied and bow my head in front of your command, while favor and patience are from you alone. As regards her second son, Imam Hussein, the people will call him for a battle and kill him to the extent that his sons and whoever from his family or friends accompanying him shall also be killed. Then they will loot his family, and he will request for help from me. But verily, martyrdom has been decreed for him and for those accompanying him. And his martyrdom is a proof over all the people, from the east to the west. And the heavens and the earth shall weep over him. And the angels, who would not be able to assist him, shall lament too. Then I shall emerge a man, Imam al-Mahdi, Ajjalallahu farajahu al-Sharif, from his progeny, by whose means I will assist you. And his spirit is near me under the Empyrean. After the death of Imam al-Hasan alayhi salam, a movement came about among the Shia of Iraq. They wrote a letter to Imam Hussein stating their intention of deposing Muawiyah and their readiness to support him, and swearing the allegiance, bay'ah, at his hands. In reply to their letter, Imam Hussein alayhi salam wrote that he disagreed to it because a pact had been made between them and Muawiyah, which would not be violated by them until the period expired, till Muawiyah died. And when Muawiyah dies, it would then be decided as to what would be done. Muawiyah died in the middle of the month of Rajab, in the year 60 after Hijrah. Yazid wrote a letter to Walid ibn Utbah ibn Abu Sufyan, who was appointed the governor of Medina by Muawiyah, to demand the oath of allegiance from Hussein ibn Ali immediately. Mas'udi and other historians narrate that in the former days of his illness, because of which he died, one day Muawiyah went to the bathhouse. When he looked at his weak and feeble body, he started weeping, for he realized that his end was near, and he recited the following couplet: I see that time has hastened to break me, and has taken some of my part from me, and left some. The deflection of my length and breadth has made him sit down, after having stood for a lengthy period of time. And when his death and the days of separation of the world drew near, and his illness increased, while the chances of his recovery seemed less, he recited some couplets in remorse. I wish I had not been a sovereign for an instant, nor would I have been blinded while being absorbed in worldly pleasures. I wish I would have been similar to the poor, who suffices upon the necessities until he joins the people of the grave. Ibn Asir Jazari says that during his illness, Muawiyah said, I am like that livestock whose time of harvesting has neared. My kingship and rulership over you has been for a long time, because of which I am sick of you and you are sick of me. I desire to be separated from you, and you wish the same, but I am better than the one who will rule over you after me, as those who were before me were better than me. It is said that whoever likes to meet the Almighty too likes to meet him. O Allah, I like to meet you, and I request you to like my meeting too, and make it a means of prosperity for me. After some time, the signs of death became apparent upon him, and when he realized his certain death, he called his son Yazid and said, Muawiyah's will to his son Yazid. O my dear son, I have fastened the load of pain, and have warded off rebellion from you, and have straightened up matters. I have tamed the enemies, have brought the reins of the Arabs in your hands, and have accumulated that for you which no one has ever done. Thus consider the people of Hijaz, who are your foundation and your roots. Give respect to those among the people of Hijaz who come to you, and keep inquiring about those who are not present among them. Besides, consider the people of Iraq, and if they desire that you depose a governor every day, do not refuse, for it is easy to change a governor than to face 10,000 swords drawn forth facing you. Favor the people of Syria, for they are your near ones and your reservoirs. And if you fear an enemy, ask for their help. And when you have accomplished your goal of defeating the enemy, return them back to the cities of Syria, for if they remain elsewhere, their manners will change. I do not fear anyone opposing or fighting with you on the question of caliphate, except 4 persons, those being Hussein ibn Ali, Abdullah ibn Umar, Abdullah ibn Zubair, and Abdullah ibn Abu Bakr. As regards to Abdullah ibn Umar, excessive worship has broken him. If no one remains to assist him, he shall succumb to you. As regards to Hussein ibn Ali, he is light-minded, and the people of Iraq will betray him until they force him to rebel. If he revolts and you gain victory over him, excuse him, for he is linked to us through a relation, and he keeps greater right while having relation and nearness of the Holy Prophet. As regards the son of Abu Bakr, he follows that what his companions like, and his aspirations are only women and play. While the one who like a lion lies in ambush, and the fox who is playing a game with you, and is in track of an opportunity to pounce upon you, is the son of Zubair. And if he revolts and you gain victory over him, separate every joint of his. Try and keep safe the blood of our own people.